I had a few surprises when I watched this movie. I thought the entirety of the film was basically the angel coming down, or the angel trainee. It comes down to prevent George from committing suicide by showing what his life would be like, if he was gone. I thought that was the entire movie. I didn't realize that this was a character study movie. Again, I didn't read much about this film. I didn't know much about it. I really never had an interest in watching this until today. Well, no, that's not true. I've had interest beforehand. But I was kind of surprised that this was really just a character study film. And a character study film basically is a film where it follows one character through a set period of time and showcases their evolution from, I guess, what they do or how they change throughout the entirety of the film. And I was really surprised to learn that, oh, wait a minute. The angel coming is only in the last 30 minutes of the movie. I was legitimately surprised. I didn't know that. And I think it's a great movie the way it is, but I'm really surprised so many people, including critics and including people who write about films, really focus in on the angel preventing the character from killing himself angle, when really it's not even a tenth of the film. The angel doesn't come in until an hour and 45 in, if I recall correctly. So I was kind of surprised by that, but it definitely works, because that's what was making me curious about the film before I watched it, because I thought to myself, how are they going to set up me caring about this character who wants to kill himself? And this was before I realized what it was. I thought most of the movie was that. But the fact that they let you live through what was going on with George Bailey from the point when he was in college and high school to then him as an adult to the point where he may go to jail, I think really I then makes me understand why people love this movie so much, because it is a deep thought. It is a very thoughtful film. I was surprised by, because it really shows the gamut of where he goes from being hopeful to then life dragging you down a bit, and then you make concessions, and then you fall in love, and then your dreams come in the back seat, and you know what I mean. Yeah, so I was really surprised by that end. I was also surprised how dark this movie gets. Oh my God, I was surprised in the first 5 minutes when the druggist was trying to kill himself and then possibly kill others because I guess his son died in the beginning of the movie. So I was really surprised that it got that dark that quick. And he was also smacking the kid across the face. That was interesting. That was pretty interesting. I was very surprised by that. And then the anti-capitalist themes, I'm not entirely surprised by. But this film does it very well. It makes you sympathize with George, and the key thing with that in that end, when it comes to George Bailey, is that he himself wanted to be a capitalist. His dream was making $1 million within a certain period of time. So he believed in the capitalist system and everything. And then his evolution from being that way to then going against Mr. Potter was believable in a good extent. They did that very well in this movie as well, when it came to him starting to realize the way Potter is not really the best way to be in the movie. So I believe that, that's a key thing in this movie that I think a lot of Christmas movies don't get right, is to make it believable. It's to make you believe that this is actually, to an extent, possible, except for maybe the ending, but it's still kind of a sweet kind of ending of the movie. So, directed pieces from Frank Capra. There are some really good shots in the movie. Him running throughout the town in both the sequence where he no longer exists and the sequence when he gets his life back are shot really well. The sequence where he's watching, where George is considering killing himself, and he's watching the ocean, and you see the waves. That was a beautiful shot. This is a really well-directed movie in certain sequences in this movie. So yeah, another really well-directed movie by Capra. We did Arsenic and Old Lace in October, and that was a really good movie. That was a pretty good movie as well. But this is much better. This is a really well-shot movie. The only issue I really have, I think some will be like, yeah, you're being a little too picky. And you might be right. You might be right when it comes to me being picky about this. The ending, the last, I say, 5-10 minutes, where it just kind of wrapped itself in a bow real tight, and it had that really happy ending, where the whole town essentially came in to put money down for the bank, put money down so the bank would not default and Bailey wouldn't get arrested. I think the better ending would be someone saw what Potter did and stole that money, and then maybe he got arrested, or I don't know. I'm not really thrilled with that ending. I'm not enough to demerit it or to knock it, but I think that could have ended in a little bit of a better way. But that's also kind of the theme of the movie, is the fact that George not only fell in love with his then wife from that town, he fell in love with the town to a certain extent. So I guess that kind of works. I still think there could have been a little bit of a better ending on that, but it's not enough for me to like really knock it for the ending. So it's a nitpick. I will admit to that. But I think the ending could have been a little bit better. All right, so let me get into my final thoughts for It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life is a lovely movie. I think it is definitely one of the best Christmas movies I've seen. It might be the best Christmas movie out there. And it's just a very well-written, well-directed, and really well-acted performance by James Stewart that is just a really enjoyable movie. I'm surprised by how dark it got. I'm also surprised that even though it's a very happy, kind of Hollywood-esque film from the old days, that it still feels sort of real in a way. Like it's not too Hollywood. There is some dark stuff in there. There is some stuff that grounds it in some sort of reality. But I really ended up enjoying it. And the thing that it does very well is it is a very life-affirming movie. It really makes you believe that even when you're down, there is a reason why you should still be around and have faith in the life you have and show the good things that you have in life. I will give it 4 stars. I don't normally give movies 4 stars. I'm usually a 3, 3.5, 2.5 guy. But this is a 4-star film, and I will probably see this again before the holiday is over. You know what I'll do? I'll wait 6 months. I want to see if this movie holds up outside of the holidays. So I'll time it right now. In 6 months, I'll watch It's a Wonderful Life again, and I will see how it is then. So 4 stars, It's a Wonderful Life. I want to see it again, so I will see it again in 6 months.